The following podcast is brought to you by the Ebb Tide Treatment Center. Many people wrestle with addiction. You don't have to. Reach out to the Ebb Tide Treatment Center, where they wish to empower each individual encountered with the support, hope, and tools required for long-term sobriety, priding themselves on providing the best possible treatment experience for you and your loved ones based on unique needs. They're committed to breaking the stigma that plagues those suffering with addiction and their families by educating and bringing awareness to the community. The Ebb Tide Treatment Center provides individual and group therapy, multiple recovery pathways for support, evidence-based clinical support, integrated aftercare social reintegration, personalized treatment planning, program addressing whole life health, and Vivitrol program, all available. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, reach out to them at ebbtidetc.com or call 844-430-4357. Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of AIW's The Card is Going to Change. We've got a rager of a show for you today. More on that in a moment. But first, of course, thanks to our sponsors. We want to thank Angelo's Pizza, who takes care of us. They're serving up wonderful, hot, warm pizza for you every single one of our live events at Mount Carmel. If you want to try anything else from their menu, head to Angelo's on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. Of course, thanks to Smart Mark Video, who takes care of all of our recording needs so that you can watch the shows back if you attended them or watch them for the first time by purchasing the MP4 download or a DVD from smartmarkvideo.com. And as always, thanks to Jack Prince, who handles all of our graphic design and printing needs. If you want to start a business, maybe you need business cards, maybe you're like us, you need to get some t-shirts made or anything else, banners especially, you can do all of that and more through Jack Prince. Visit them at jackprince.com.
That's JAKPrince.com.
That's right. That voice that you heard, none other than the Bone Collector, Dominic Guarini, with us again. Also going to be joined by AIW owner John Thorne, as always.
Greetings.
My name is Steve Guy, your moderator of sorts, and our other special guest. We couldn't do this episode without him, Alex Worldwide Keller.
How's it going?
As alluded to at the top, we are talking about Wrestlerager 2 Electric Boogaloo at Now That's Class.
AKA how Kella got his groove back.
That's right, a worldwide partial production. How Keller got his groove back, that kind of sets the tone of how this whole thing came together. Right, Thorne?
Yeah, so he's been pitching me to do a show at this place forever, and I'm just like, no, it's impossible. There's no way it could get done. Pushing me. He goes through a little bit of a dark time, is considering retirement. Absolution goes well. And I say, okay, let's fucking do it. You know, like, let's fucking do it. Like, I wanted to take August off. Let's fucking do it. Now, I confirm this, and then Music Links Tequila Jacks also requests a show, like, literally days later. So we wind up with shows back-to-back weeks, which is a little risky.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that now, you know, McGregor and Mayweather are going to fight that day.
Oh, yeah.
On top of the fact that this show needs to be outside. There was a lot of fucking factors going against it, but I wanted to give Mr. Worldwide Keller a bone because he kind of was down, and I thought maybe, okay, fine, we'll do this show at Now That's Class. Maybe it'll help him get his smile back a little bit.
This is your worlds colliding.
Yes,
right,
smashing things together that should not be together, but totally work together, I'd say.
And then part of the issue, too, it becomes, how do you draw people to... I mean, how do we draw our regular wrestling fans there?
Well, before that, like, why do you want to do this show? Like,
Yeah.
what is your purpose here? Like,
Honestly, like, just like for something new and different, and also I felt that if we could pull off a show at Now That's Class with, like, no calamity or problems or issues, then we could put that on our resume to take around town to other bars. Because if you can fucking make it happen at Now That's Class, you can make it happen fucking anywhere.
it's like making it in New York, right? You can
Yeah.
make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah, and don't forget, the owner of the bar also had to get approval from the city to make this show happen.
Yeah, this is a big clusterfuck, which I thought when I said, yeah, let's do it, I thought once I heard this that it for sure wasn't going to happen. And that's why I booked the Music Links deal, because I thought once I heard that the city council needed to get involved, that there's no way that the show was going to get the green light.
Yeah, but councilmen came through and were even supportive of it, and I think the neighborhood really enjoyed it.
We'll get to that.
Yes.
So then, you shock me again and you say, oh yeah, it's good to go through city council. So now I'm like, fuck, now we got to do it. And we're like, now how do we get people there?
Yeah.
You know?
And plus now we've got to draw 2 weeks in a row.
What's your thought process?
My thought process was just the spectacle of pro wrestling at Nalahed's Class, like a known, like, weird kind of scuzzy, like, you call it a punk bar, but, like, it's, like, so much more than that. But, like, fucking, I feel like they've been wanting to do wrestling there for years. They were jerked around by other, like, shindy guys and, like, like, people that knew people, like, for, like, fucking, like, 10 years now. And, like, they've always wanted it there. And I knew, like, we're putting out the best independent fucking wrestling in goddamn Northeast Ohio, period. And fucking we can deliver them a goddamn show. And on that spectacle alone, like, even if, like, the AIW, like, Faithful hadn't come out, we still would have had, like, easy, like, 100+ people there. Like, just for the spectacle alone. As it is, we also had our wrestling fans just mixing in with all the weirdos. And it was like easy, like,
and we'll get to that. But my perspective was you're banking on these weirdos, but I'm not banking on them at all, because my thought process was if they wanted to see wrestling, Mount Carmel is a mile up the road. So I'm looking at it as how are we gonna get wrestling fans to care? Because I can't really rely on these people that haven't supported a show any other time really to come and come through for this thing.
If I can speak to that, I mean, my thought process was honestly that talking someone into, like, buying a ticket for $20 and, like, be like, yeah, it's like wrestling, it happens in like a fucking church gym, it's like crazy, it's awesome, there's cheap beer. You're gonna get a couple of people that way, but sometimes you gotta, like, bring water to the horse, you know what I'm saying? So there are definitely going to be some new fans made out of this show. And that was also my, like, it was like more like just like a sort of like marketing, like promotional tool.
I knew that was the plan, but my thought process was, we have to get the core people there too, to provide the fucking spectacle of it all, and like add to the energy. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to think of. Yeah, I want to do this kind of infomercial show for these people, but we got to get wrestling fans there too. So we started trying to think of how are we going to draw them in, and I know you had some ideas.
I don't know what ideas.
Oh no,
were those?
The one time in your life you don't remember any ideas?
You've always got ideas.
Fucking, that was a foggy time, man.
You were really fucking pushing for New Jack.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, you're like, he's uncontrollable, no. And then I remember I was talking to one Tony Erba, who some people know, some people don't. But and I was like telling him names we were throwing around, and I was like, New Jack, and he's like, oh no, he's completely uncontrollable. And like just same exact fucking reaction from like a longtime fan. And but we ended up moving in that direction, didn't we?
So at first, I'm trying to I'm thinking more of the McGregor and the Mayweather fight, and I'm trying to bridge that gap on top of get like a really ridiculous kind of like spectacle attraction of a what the fuck are they doing? So I actually reached out and I tried to get a hold of fucking Evander the Real Deal Holyfield, in hopes that he would do a brawl for all. I write him out a pitch and everything, and then I got nothing.
No brawl for alls in Evander.
And then
Weird Body's full name, by the way.
And then I think, oh, fuck, I know who we can get. We can get the fucking king of the brawl for all, Butterbean.
Yeah, and that works out well because I actually had like a legitimately good connection with Butterbean. The guy who owned my gym was actually one of his cornermen in his Pride fight that he won. So I actually legitimately could have even had the Pride trophy at the show if I wanted it.
So I reach out to Butterbean and we start talking, and he says that he can't do anything physical because he has a hip problem now. And I was like, dude, all you have to do is like fucking just throw one punch. And he says he can't even throw a punch anymore. Based on the condition he's currently in with his hip. He says he walks with a cane. So I was like, fuck, dude, Butterbean was the perfect fucking guy. And then I don't know how we fucking arrive at the Sandman, but I don't know where the idea comes from, but I know that I asked little Guido for it, and he gives me the fucking phone number right away, and I signed a deal with fucking not sign a deal, but work a deal with the Sandman within fucking I would say a few hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't very long because we were going back and forth, and I think Dom was in on this too. But it went from you texting me like, "What do you think? We're doing this," and then 2, maybe 3 hours later, boom, Sandman booked, which I think ended up being obviously the perfect thing.
I think he was the perfect fit for this situation.
Yeah, even once you arrived at like, hey, Sandman's gonna happen. Visually, you're just like, Sandman at this bar, this outdoor bar show where we're expecting it to be weird. Perfect.
But there was a part of me that thought the Sandman was never going to come.
Yes.
He has a reputation of it. And then Tommy Dreamer announced a House of Hardcore show that happening that day, which one of the very few people advertised was the Sandman. So I was like, oh, fuck.
Not in Ohio, by the way.
Yeah, in Chicago. Luckily, Sandman's telling me, no, I'm good for it. And then Tommy Dreamer ends up canceling his show anyway. So then I was like, fuck yeah, I know he's coming for sure.
Had him.
What did you think of the Sandman draft pick?
We were like workshopping that in the back parking lot of class before a show once. So like we were like going around and like name to name. And then finally like it just kind of kept coming back to the Sandman. And like the more it made perfect sense, perfect fit for the show.
And you end up still to try to bridge the fighting gap. Dom tries to.
It's just so like I'm still trying to find somebody. So then myself and Dom get this fucking kind of wacky idea. Okay, we can't get Evander Holyfield, which I knew it was a long shot, but fuck it. And then I couldn't get Butterbean. So then we go, oh shit, fucking old school UFC fighter Mark Coleman lives in Ohio and he did some fucking wrestling matches in Japan. Let's try to get a hold of this guy.
So Thorne puts me on the kind of the goose chase. So I just do what any normal person does, and I go on Facebook and I search for Mark Coleman's Facebook. So I find it. I think I shoot him a message on Facebook. I'm not friends with him. His friend limit is reached, but I can still message him. So I shoot him this message. I essentially give him the pitch of, hey, we're gonna advertise this as a brawl for all. I know you have a brand new hip, but I also know that you don't need to bump. This is what we're gonna do. This message goes unread for 2 weeks. I literally then out of nowhere get a message back from Mark, and it says, "This sounds real cool, man. Here's my phone number. Text me." So I text him, and I get a reply back. And the way to describe how Mark Coleman texts is how your grandpa would likely text if he just learned how to text. So the first text I sent him was like, "Hey, Mark, this is Dominic, the one I talked to on Facebook." He's like, "Cool, man. Can you run that whole thing by me again?" So then I have to run the entire pitch by him again, give him the dates. And his next reply came 4 days later at 2 p.m. And it was, "Sounds cool. Got to check some stuff out. I'll let you know." Every word was spelled wrong, by the way.
So he texts like Tim Donst.
So then, after another couple days, I know we're kind of run up the brass tacks, I still don't have how much it's going to be for him, nor a confirmation from Mark. I also, during my conversation, said if there's like a manager maybe I need to talk to or anybody along those lines, just let me know. Once again, 0 reply. I then go, well, we're about a week away from the show, Mark. We need confirmation if you can do this. Another day passes, no text back. At this point, sadly, I've lost all hope that we're going to get UFC Hall of Famer Mark Coleman to drive a mere 2 hours to Cleveland for this show.
But he's not out of the question for the future, so I'm going to put you back on that wild goose chase.
That's fine. I've still got the number.
But so then, I realize that I take a look all the time just to see, like, every time I die is off tour. Then, so I hit up Andy Williams and I say, hey, would you be available? At this point, like, we're holding on for Mark Coleman, but Andy works it out. And I just book him, and if Mark Coleman was going to be available, we're going to make him ref it or something. But I book Andy Williams from Every Time I Die. I think that's so now, I'm starting to think that we got the Sandman. Now we got Andy Williams from Every Time I Die. Now I'm starting to think that this is like turning into like the perfect kind of fit 1-2 punch, so to speak, for this show that we're trying to do. And then I would say fucking less than a week before the show, maybe a week and a half before the show, Tim Donst says, I really want to wrestle Danny Havoc one last time. He's retiring. Would you be interested in, doing it at, this bar show coming up? And I really didn't want to because I was really worried about how the show was going to draw, and I didn't want to add any more to the budget because, we had to pay for the fucking Sandman. But then I think, you know what? Like, fuck it. Like, this is going to be cool. I think the Sandman plus Andy Williams from Every Time I Die, and now we'll have fucking Danny Havoc fucking in his final, one of his second to last independent wrestling match ever. He'll probably do something memorable, in the main event. So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. I booked Danny Havoc, and then, we're kind of off with those three things kind of being our draws on top of Mr. Kellar here.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
you seem very unexcited to talk about this event.
I don't know. Well, it's like,
is it as exciting?
I don't know. I'm like still like, I don't know how the fuck you do it because I was a goddamn ball of like insane nerves the entire fucking day. Because I mean, if this thing shit the bed, it was going to be like my fucking like, I was going to get ribbed on like a doctoral level. And for a long time, and fucking, so I was worried about that, and then also I didn't want to fucking cost the company money or any of that, or like have like something fucking like, I mean, I was like at the very beginning of the day, I was like, at the end of the day, I'm just gonna be Paul Heyman and fucking be on the mat. If they're happy, I'm happy. I'm just happy it's over. But yeah, fucking like. My like fucking like just like whatever like organizational involvement I had in this, I was just like fucking an insane person, and I'm like still like coming down from that practically.
Elements that you wanted all along essentially were incorporated into it.
I mean, the Haas match was my baby.
Yeah, you wanted it to be a battle royale.
No, I had an idea for a free beer battle royal.
Yeah,
let's. Yeah, so I'm trying to lock down draws and like.
Here's the thing. I just felt like let's load this son of a bitch up with a shitload of fucking students and cheap locals, and it's wrestling at class. It's got a goddamn draw. But you definitely took it up a notch, and I appreciate that.
My point was like you can't just do it for those people. Like you have to try to combine the worlds because that's the point, and because that was the end goal. It's like let's do a show for these new people, these people that don't come to AIW that would probably really enjoy it, but like we have to commingle them in with our diehard fans. Which,
yes.
We knew we were just gonna probably draw diehard fans. You know what I mean? Like it was fucking outside. There's no chairs. It's fucking the Sandman and a bunch of weird shit. So we knew we were going to get the diehards, but like the end goal was to kind of co-mingle these people all together. So that was my, that was kind of my fucking, thinking kind of a little bit ahead was like,
And if we look around the card, there's like a little bit of everything on there. I mean, it's a really good sampler plate, I'd say.
And like it was a fun show, but like I was trying to build it to create like an atmosphere or whatever. On top of having the Sandman there, you know what I mean? That's putting it over the top. And plus, there was meet and greet and things like that would add to it.
Got that PBR sponsorship?
Yeah, that got PBR hooked, on board for a little bit. So, I was trying to I looked at this as like an infomercial, but we needed to we needed to not just focus on one group of people. We needed to fucking broaden the fucking spectrum a little bit.
Well, and that
he lights a cigarette.
Yeah, there he goes.
Outdoor locker rooms, baby.
Just thinking about it was stressing him out. He had to light that cigarette up. So, I mean, I guess then we can get into more so the day of at this point. We get there logistically, figure out, all right, here's where the ring has to go.
Yeah, we get there and you didn't really have too much logistically figured out.
I knew where the fuck the truck was going to go. We had a conversation about the ring. We figured that out. Then attempted to make an upstairs locker room, but Gorilla Tape and tarps were not getting down with us. And then we just ended up with a nice back alley locker room, and that was fine.
So all the neighbors watching the boys change.
Yep.
Those that didn't
Kathy
change
got
in the
a
truck.
show.
So let's get into the show. You know what I mean? Let's get your perspective on it.
Honestly, like I said, I was like fucking racing around all goddamn day, being like pulled like every which way. Like, we'd be like trying to like talk about our match, and then it would be like worldwide, like this, that. Like it got to like 2 or 3 hours into the day, like once we were on the ground at class, I hated the fucking sound of my own goddamn name. Like I was just like, if I hear my name one more fucking time, because I was just hearing it from every angle, because like I had to like fucking figure shit out with the bar. I had to figure shit out with like, the wrestling. Bar, wrestling, like being pulled this way, that way. Idiot friends calling and fucking being like, when is it? Like all this shit, like to the point that I just fucking like left my phone somewhere. But like, I was every which way. But like once the show got fucking rolling, like, once the show started, it was goddamn just a beautiful thing. And 2 hours and 57 minutes.
Yeah,
which is an AIW motherfucking record.
It was
if
short,
ever there were one.
I mean, it wasn't a long card necessarily, and but on top of that, we don't have to go through the entire card match for match. We'll pick and choose things and we'll highlight them. But when the show, we're 15, 20 minutes out from it starting. We don't have necessarily a huge crowd still at that point.
It was looking a little, we weren't, it wasn't from the show starting. It was from doors officially opening. So we're talking doors opened inside the bar at 3 o'clock, doors open for the back, parking lot at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then the show started at 5 o'clock. Hard 5, which I loved. And, honestly, there was I loved me some good efficiency, and somehow we did it. I don't know how, but I'm stoked. But
were you getting nervous though with the draw?
Oh fuck yeah! Because I'd had so many people be like, "Oh, this weekend I have a wedding," or after the fact, fucking decided to go camping or this or that or da 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 da. So by the way, anyone that's ever been like, "Oh, I just want to see her fucking wrestle," blah blah blah, I fucking put it to you on a goddamn platter. And if you didn't see me, then suck my gosh darn unit. I don't want to go that hard. What's up, everybody? This is Alex Worldwide Keller here to tell you all about Thrift Store Jobber at Thrift Store Jobber on Instagram. Find him on Etsy. He has a doozy of a shirt for you this week from the WWF, straight out of the Attitude Era. It is Lita. This shirt is size XL, and there are some things on this shirt that are double XL easily. Check them out at Thrift Store Jobber and use promo code WORLDWIDE to get 10% off any order.
Dom, I want to throw you in here because this is like your first time at this bar, right? Mm-hmm. And knowing Worldwide how you know him, what are you thinking going into this whole day?
This is the exact place I see Worldwide hanging out at on a daily basis.
Did you?
No offense, Worldwide. It's a punk bar. Like it's the exact same. It's the exact thing. Like I see young worldwide Alex Collar, the king of wrong style, getting raised in.
Did you feel like the show, the turnout that we end up having, it was going to be that way?
You know, having talked to Thorne and Worldwide about pre-sale, yeah, I think the crowd was probably even a little bigger than we expected. We expected probably a pretty good sized walk up.
Yeah.
Because that's, you know, Worldwide has talked to me about, like, your punk shows usually don't pre-sell well. It's all the walk up.
Yeah, and we end up pre-selling fantastic for this show.
Yeah, I think on pre-sale alone we were like somewhere around 150, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Like just with tickets floating around and online and all that stuff. And then we like definitely had like another like, because like we were at like 200 plus for sure, and it was a good damn time.
So I mean, we're sitting there, not too many people, and then it seems like all of a sudden we get ready. Hey, I come to you, Worldwide. We're going to start hard 5 o'clock in about 10 minutes, and we look around. Man, this place is packed.
Yeah,
outside.
it like seemed like it happened like out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
but, like I was so happy to see it. Some of the photos that came out of that show just breathtaking.
Did that kind of help you all of a sudden get real amped? You're like,
Oh
here
yeah,
we
I
go.
mean, well, like I said, once the show fucking started, like I was like just like cruising, but like just I woke up at 9 a.m. and then like 9 a.m. to about like 4:35 p.m. I was just like go, an insane person. Like, but once it got started, like it was definitely like a weight off my fucking chest.
Well, and I think it was important to set the tone early, like John was saying, for these people who maybe haven't seen our shows before and get them excited about it. There was a cool vibe. Everybody was there. They definitely wanted to see something, and some of them didn't know what they were going to see. And now match one, Gary the King Baller, Eric Ryan, and Eric is jumping from the top rope to the outside, taking out Eric and or taking out Trey, Josh Bishop, and Gary the King Baller. And the crowd's just like, oh shit, okay. And now it's like everybody's buckled up.
Yeah, it was like great opener. I mean, the crowd was gonna be, honestly, we could have like farted on a snare drum and like that fucking shit would have been like ill with that fucking crowd and the amount of beer sold in that place. But more you drink, the realer it gets, I always say. But fucking yeah, it was. What was match 2? Hoss Division.
Yeah, your baby.
My baby.
That
Like
becomes your baby.
I had like 2 ideas for matches, and that was one of them. Originally, it had like 2 more humans. One of them probably didn't want to be a Hoss, and another one got moved to a different spot on the card. But
and then of course we had our good friend Kurt Hertz jumping on in.
That's right.
I mean, he was on the shirt. Why not?
That was your call to put him on the shirt.
I just assumed that he
You wanted him
his
to
way
be
in somewhere.
You wanted him to win your battle royal.
Oh, yeah,
Initially,
yeah.
you want him to win that.
The concept for the free beer battle royal, just put a bunch of whoever the fucks in the ring, and not whoever the fucks. I'm saying it would be workers, not put people from the fucking crowd in there. But then have Trey Lamar win the thing, and then the referee comes up and he's like, "Wait a minute, how old are you?" And he's like, he'd be like 20, and he'd be like, "You can't win the free beer battle royal." And then it would go to the next to last person eliminated, which would have been Kurt Hertz, into intermission with Kurt just sharing beer with the crowd, triumphant. That was my idea.
What I love is the Hoss division didn't really have a title per se, and this is where the worldwide production comes in.
No, it did, but it's been lost in translation.
Yes.
Transition.
But I had to so I basically had to no, that's a solid gold boot. I'm not gonna fucking spoil the mystery. It's a solid gold boot. It might look like one of my old boots painted gold. It's not. It's a solid gold boot. You're like, why is it so pliable? Well, gold's a very soft metal. All right. So fucking anyway, it's a solid gold boot. And congratulations to Joshua Singh taking it home on his big return.
Yeah, people were
Putting it
fired
right
up.
next to those Blu-rays.
They were fired up for that big return. And
I just want to say my big concern with this whole day was the Sandman. Because he's a fucking wild card, you know? And he said that he was coming in the day before, and then I didn't hear from him. And I go, oh, fuck. You know, where's this guy going to be? And then the Duke texts me, and he says, oh, man, do you see that picture the Sandman tweeted? He's down at the Brown Stadium. And I go, what? And I looked, and I go, oh, fuck, he's in Cleveland. So that's a good sign.
yeah,
And then he said that he was like 2 minutes away.
For a long time.
For like, I sent people out to look for him, and
Then it turned out he was just in the back the whole damn time.
Yeah, he just parked in the back,
sitting
and
in
he
his
was
car.
fucking swinging a fucking golf club around.
Well, so the Haas match immediately shows everybody this is going to get weird. And then I think the next match, Dom, right, was the tag team match.
Yeah, and that included a blow-up doll.
And that's when things got really weird. All of a sudden, we go from...
Did they bring the blow-up doll, or that fans brought that?
Fans brought that blow-up doll.
I bet they bought it at the head/porn shop next door.
Knowing that the Tim Don's and Danny Havoc match was going to be a Bring Your Weapons match, what I was told by the people who brought the blow-up doll is they wanted that to be used as a weapon.
Which, that match, the main event was never announced as fans bring the weapons.
That was just the assumption.
That was the assumption, which Danny Havoc was not pumped about when he fucking pulled in and saw all that fucking chaos.
Yeah. So then things start getting... Basically, it becomes spring break at Now That's Class. We have a blow-up doll hanging out.
And, I mean, as soon as I saw that the Sandman was there, it was fucking... I was going all in Wrestlerager, dude, and I just started ordering like 6 beers at a time, and I just started having fun passing them out to people.
Fun in the sun.
Oh,
You were
yeah.
scorched at the end of that day.
I got fucking sunburned so bad.
We go from blow-up doll. I think then Trey Lamar has his match next.
Beautiful shooter. Off the top
Sorry, that was the tag. That was the tag match. Actually, from blow-up doll, Dom, after the tag match.
You forget, Steve Guy, you didn't do your research,
Steve Guy,
did
didn't do your
you?
research. The next would have been...
AJ Gray does his fucking Phoenix Splash.
That's in the same match. That's a tag match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People go fucking...
They go crazy for the Phoenix
nuts.
Splash.
Trey Lamar almost kills himself on a shooting star press.
To the concrete.
Goes outside to the concrete. Yep.
So scary. And then we go on to the Duke comes
And then
out.
Dookie comes out.
And
then-
Duke cuts a hell of a promo.
This is where we all discover he brings attention to the window guy.
Yeah, because there's a house next door to class, which people that go to class live in. And, well, instead of buying a ticket, they just kind of hung out in the window and in their respective bedroom windows and just watched the show.
Eating Chinese food.
Yeah, they did order Chinese at one point.
Which, all of us, from there, we also get Duke's a narc chant.
That was a great chant.
We get window guy.
Because the Duke goes, "Do I smell marijuana?"
Yeah.
Which somebody was
marijuana.
which someone was definitely smoking some marijuana.
There was, because I think you and I had just looked at each other like, smell that? I'm like, yeah. And then there's Duke, goes off with it. Then you get window guy chant. You get a beef lo mein chant. There were people in the back on the rooftop of a shed.
Mm-hmm. Dumpster kids.
And then there were dumpster kids, and we get a dumpster kid chant, which, by the way, the owner, Paul, said his favorite part of the whole show was the dumpster kid chant.
He's like, 15 years from now, those kids are going to be coming into my bar bugging people for change.
So Duke going off, says he has nobody fun, challenges window guy to a fight.
which I thought that the Duke might have been biting off a little bit more than he can chew with that promo in that place.
I was really
Yeah.
Duke was like number one on my list, honestly. Before like we had the Sandman or like Andy Williams or anything, I was like, Duke absolutely 100% has to be on this fucking show. He is going to fucking roast this crowd, and this crowd is going to murder him. Hopefully not really murder him, but it's going to be fucking fantastic. And that crowd loves a dick. And Duke is a very accomplished dick.
Duke the Dick.
Duke the Dick. And then I think they got what they loved. Like, if they could not put their hands on him, enter the Sandman.
Well, but my thing is I thought that fucking somebody was going to get their hands on him before the Sandman entered. Because that fucking window guy, I thought he was coming.
You thought he was going to come down?
Well,
huh?
the sunglasses or the other one?
Either one.
Well, the funny thing is the other one Steve Osborne, but he used to go by the nickname of Big Body. So before I knew Weird Body, I knew Big Body, and he's a big boy.
Yeah, well,
Man.
I thought the Duke was going to fucking R.I.P. for fucking real. So once it started, it's like I was by the music, and once it's like red hot, I say fucking hit that fucking Sandman song, dude. Like,
And then out pumps fucking Sandman
On top
from
of
the
the
Hawk's
dumpsters.
dumpster. The Hawk, which is the gay bar next door. Just straight out of that dumpster. There he is, over the fence. Oh, yeah, that was another adorable thing about that show. If you were watching it from the balcony, you could see all the boys looking over the fucking fence by the dumpster like they're the goddamn Little Rascals or some shit.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
great.
back by the U-Haul truck
Yeah,
where we
yeah,
had
yeah.
it parked.
But
That was
yeah,
amusing.
out comes the Sandman from that dumpster behind the fence. Everyone's like, "Fuck yeah!"
which we were supposed to get PBR, but they only had a case, and we needed a 12-pack. So we had to send your brother to the store, and he comes back with Natty Light, which the Sandman was like, Natty Light? Yo, what the fuck?
He's not a Natty Daddy.
No,
and
he's
also, Natty was not one of our sponsors, but they sold a few.
He's like, are you fucking serious, bro? I was like, hey, man, this is what they gave me.
Well, here's the thing. You were like all like gung-ho on it. It had to be like a case. So you could just carry the case.
Because that's what he usually does.
Well, no, fucking because he went old school and he just had that shit stuffed
Get him
down
in the
those goddamn
Here's the thing about
jean pockets.
Here's about the thing about the Sandman. We got top of the line Sandman, dude.
He was in fucking shape.
Well, but I'm saying for all his appearances in recent memory, he's just out there in a fucking polo shirt, fucking carrying a case of beer. Like, I couldn't believe that he actually changed into that outfit for the fucking entrance. Like, he put jeans on.
I was shocked
Yeah,
myself.
that's true.
And
During
if-
the meet and greet, he had like the ball cap on.
He was dressed like he was in his golf gear.
Yeah, he was dad. Yeah.
Which, I thought was gonna happen. And then, so everything I've seen is he walks out with a fucking case of beer. And then he had his fucking buddy. His buddy had the case, and they had spots. His buddy was passing him off beers as he walked by casually. It was a fucking little system that they had going on, and he was tossing them in his pockets. And I mean, that was fucking probably like one of my favorite moments in AIW history. Though, was the Sandman fucking entrance happening on an AIW show.
And
Everyone fucking singing
I was going to
along.
say, so one of the coolest things was everybody singing along. Everybody just singing Metallica, serenading the Sandman as he makes his way through the crowd, pouring beers. Kenny Wayne going crazy. Dustin Alberti.
Getting that fucking balcony one, which was messy.
And then Nana Singh getting
Nana Singh got
beer.
a whole bunch.
Part of me, like, I wanted to fucking just go down there and get it, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to fucking smell like beer for the rest of the
I was
day.
totally shocked that you didn't.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I was like, this is your moment, dude. I was shocked that it didn't happen as well.
I really wanted to do it, but a fucking great moment. He fucking beats the shit out of the Duke.
Canes him, which I had a
Duke
couple
was loving
fans.
that fucking satin jacket. Tell you that much.
I talked to the Duke after, and which the Duke terrified of the Sandman for weeks.
Really?
Terrified.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely terrified of him. And then after I said, how was it? He said, when he's staring at the Sandman and the crowd was chanting ECW, he thought he was like, that was a pretty fucking cool moment. And then he ate that fucking cane.
Oh, and then so from there, I mean, we hit.
We go to intermission.
We go to intermission.
and that's
Sick playlist.
and that's where the fucking
I will give that to you, Worldwide. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the playlist on this day.
Well, I mean, we've all at AIW shows heard the Stock Traxler playlist for a long time. And it's not a terrible playlist by any stretch of the imagination. But it's the same 12 songs every single
In the
show.
same order.
Yeah.
Traxler, download Spotify.
It breeds like a little bit of like, sort of familiarity where you're like, it's intermission or it's, pre-show. But
Deadsy.
yeah. But, Simon Diamond's theme song. Fuck yeah. But, then, like I said, I was really proud of that because I just saw people like, just hanging out, chilling. I was having a good time with all the tunes. Everyone's I didn't put anything too weird on there. I had my CCR, my ZZ Top, all the classics. But then, I had some good shit too.
Well, 22
I had
Top.
everything. Nuck If You Buck for AJ Grise. Fucking.
Yeah, I think Nick Sanka told me the only thing that needs to be added next year is, even if we're not selling it, someone needs to just be cooking on a grill the whole time so we get that grill smoke going in the background,
I like it.
For atmosphere.
maybe
and
window.
smell.
Maybe window guy can not do Chinese food.
Window guy might come to
cook
Cool
out
as
a
Ice.
grill. Oh,
He
excellent.
might bring a fucking window frame. We
no.
charge fans $5 for a fucking photo with a window guy.
People would fucking probably love that.
Yeah, well, there you go.
All right.
Pay attention, folks. Want to have a photo op for you. We exit intermission. I mean, it's freaking spring break, full go now at this point. And
People are having a good time.
oh,
at
people
the
are having a
show.
great. I think we were all having a great time.
Well, like I said, my big concern is the Sandman going to show up? He was there.
The weather.
The weather was good. no rain. So it was just kind of like, fuck it at this point. Like, let's all have fun. And I think everybody was having fun. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Especially the fans. Like, I think it was like, you know, I think everyone really loves the Mount Carmel shows. This was just a different vibe. This was like a house party vibe with wrestling. And it just created it. People were
So it brought people that maybe wouldn't be at a party to a party, and people that would not be at wrestling to wrestling.
Yeah,
and that's where I go back to that co-mingling
Yes.
with those people.
It wasn't
And
a bar
I think
show.
it went fucking phenomenal.
It wasn't a bar show like Music Links
No.
or the Tequila Jack shows or bar shows.
Yeah.
Because that was just like, we have
That's a wrestling show
Yeah,
in a
it happens
bar.
to be in a bar.
Yeah.
This was a spectacle all its own. We jump out of intermission, and the next match, I believe, is Joshua Bishop taking on Bobby Beverly. And then that's another fun one, too, because the crowd getting involved when Bev comes out there, and they're all singing along to Aerosmith at this point, you know, doing the whoa cues. And I know it happens at Mount Carmel, but just how rowdy the crowd was and how into it they were, it was louder than ever. And because I think, too, with standing room only, everybody's right on top of you. It just adds to the vibe, the whole party scene even more.
For sure. I mean, I'm just wondering about people that were just like walking down Detroit and are like, why the fuck is everyone singing goddamn Aerosmith in the back of that fucking bar? But yeah, that was a good time. Fucking
we go
Bobby Good Brother. Fucking Josh Good Brother.
Go to the Brawl for All next, right?
Yeah, then we go to the Brawl for All.
This was your big elaborate plan, right?
Yeah, my big elaborate plan to get Dr. Dan fucking pile driven through a table, Rhino style.
Which, you know, fucking, I think this was also the perfect time to do this. People are fucking pumped for the Brawl for All, you know what I mean? They don't know what they're about to see. Out comes Carson and Dr. Dan. And, like, this crowd was, like, so easy. You know what I mean? Like,
Plus, we shot that phenomenally shot promo.
yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about
No,
that.
yeah, we'll leave that one alone.
Oh, they hated Dr. Dan.
I think
and
they
Carson.
just hated the heels, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, maybe, you know, they're fucking, since there was a full bar and it was, like, a party atmosphere, you know, it's like people were more vocal about yelling, you know what I mean? Plus mixing in the people that don't go to wrestling shows at all, who were just yelling whatever the fuck they wanted. I think it kind of loosened people up a little bit.
Dom, did you have a fan chop Brian Carson?
Well, I think I had the whole front row chop Brian Carson, and I'm sure when by the time it's at the VOD will be up, there is a legitimate portion where I'm holding Brian and letting the fans chop him. Mainly, I wanted to start with just the couple of girls that he kind of like attacked in his promo, but then I was just like, oh, people are loving this. Let's just keep rolling with it. And then AIW front row fan Justin Summers unleashes like the hardest chop I've ever seen. I literally thought that like Ric Flair got incarnated in Justin Summers' body. The heat that they must have had in the past got brought totally forward to the table at this point. So yeah, that definitely
They
happened.
said that they buried the hatchet, but apparently
No. The only one that I was
out
very trepidatious of letting touch Brian was young Ed Bettis, because I knew for a fact...
John Batts.
I knew for a fact that there was a lot of heat there. So I remember having to restrain Carson so physically hard at that point to make sure that he didn't try to attack him. And I was like, okay, let's throw you over here.
I mean, that was a good time. Then we go into the big 6-man tag with Mr. Worldwide Kellar.
yeah, the moment that much of the crowd was waiting for.
A fair amount, let's
Was
say.
this your WrestleMania?
The Weird
I
World
wouldn't
music
say it's my,
hits.
like, honestly, I'd be, well, fuck. I guess I'd be that nervous at fucking WrestleMania too. Maybe a little more. Fucking, no, that shit was wild as shit. I feel real bad because everybody called me on it after the match. I needlessly chopped one Derek Director. I didn't have to, but I did. I was feeling it from the crowd. And he caught one. I'll take it back one day. But fucking no, I mean, I thought the match was great. Fucking Weird Body hit a dive. I hit a dive. Hell of a dive. If I might just toot my own goddamn horn right now.
You
First
did the
dive in
Taker dive.
easily a year and a half. Everyone's welcome.
Taker dive.
So you're happy with
No
it?
Taker dive. We didn't get a Taker dive out of
Why?
PB, but you know, that one WWE Talent Scout wasn't in the fucking wasn't in the crowd.
Maybe will we get that taker.
No, he
guy
was there.
next year. Yeah, the talent scout.
Oh, he was there?
Yeah, he
Talent
was
scout
there.
was there, man.
Fucked up PB.
He was hanging out with Ted Zepp, I think.
That's the boy. But yeah, it was like just awesome. But at that point in time, also we were like racing against the sun a bit.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I came back and I told you, I said, hey guys, like, let's keep it brief.
Which was nice because then that basically got the heat cut down by like 2/3. So everybody took a heat. I took a heat. Fucking bing, bang, boom, and moving about. What, it was 2 inside baseball. What, all of a sudden I'm fucking...
Kayfabe,
Yeah.
other.
Deconstruct our match for the audience.
It's all right. So then from there, crowd worked into a frenzy. They know what's next. There can only be one match.
Which, like I said, Danny Havoc and Tim Donst weren't so about fucking going crazy with glass.
No, not at the start of the day.
And then they found themselves at the bar at class. And
I still have Don's card.
yeah. And all of a sudden,
Hopefully not by the time this airs.
they're like, yeah, let's just bring it all out. Fuck it. You know? And then I was just like,
Minus
oh,
one weapon.
shit.
Yes.
There was this weapon, I believe Caden made that was.
a 2x4.
There was one weapon. It wasn't a 2x4. No, it was like a styrofoam board with skewers poked through it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
A direct quote from Danny Havoc goes, "What is that?" And I go, "I think it's skewers through a styrofoam board." He's like, "No, you know what that is? Not getting used. Throw it away."
Yeah, exactly.
And when you've made something that scares Danny Havoc of all people, I think you've pushed the envelope a little too far, young Caden.
Yeah.
What darkness lies in
watch
your
that.
heart, young man?
I mean, these
Dude,
guys were
that
not...
kid, there's some darkness in that kid.
Even as of intermission, at which point they were still drinking, I was told, hey, don't let those light tubes come out. We're not doing light tubes. And then right before that match gets set up, which is,
All the light tubes go out.
yep, I get told, no, let them go. All the light tubes come out. All the light tubes but one gets used.
Danny Havoc does a balcony dive. The match is crazy. I won't deconstruct it all.
Watch it.
Tim Donst has to end up going to the hospital. It's probably everything that he really wanted in Danny Havoc's, one of his final matches. I don't know if it's exactly what Danny Havoc wanted, but Danny Havoc cuts a really nice kind of heartfelt fucking promo at the end, which I definitely appreciated. And then the goal was to have the show done by 8, and Danny Havoc is fucking walking through the curtain, and I look at my phone, and it's 7:57.
750 fucking 7.
And I walk up to Shannon from Smart Mark Video. I was like, 7:57, Shannon. Look at that. I told you we were gonna hit our times because Gary wanted to put Donst and Danny Havoc on early because he thought that the show was gonna run long and it would be too dark for them to wrestle. And I said, no way, dude. We're gonna make it.
As Worldwide said, this, as crazy and wild of a spectacle as it was, this was maybe the most efficient show that we've ran.
Just for fucking time? Holy shit.
Because we knew we were racing against the sun.
Yeah.
Let's give Worldwide a suit and call him Jamie Noble because he's our producer now.
Let's not do that.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But
I want to move in a trailer, man.
But then fucking, people are hanging out, still partying at the bar.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to really fucking take in like all these characters that are fucking, at the show. And fucking, there's just one guy there. He's just asking anybody that's fucking within earshot, hey man, you want some somas?
Oh, yeah. He's from Columbus. I played a show with him once. It's a whole fucking city.
And I was like, what the fuck are you, dude? Jamie Dundee? Like, somas? Did you wrestle in the fucking Attitude Era? I was like, no, I don't, man. But, like, that's cool, Like, and, yeah, I just thought that then I was like, holy shit, like, this is a show at Now That's Class, dude.
Well, and I said, this was important. I said all light tubes but one were used in that match. I'm standing over there having whatever little leftover pizza remains, and all of a sudden I look, and here's a fan ready to hit another
Oh
fan
yeah, we
with
got
a
that
light
shit
tube.
out of his hands.
Somebody ran and fucking got it.
I ran over. I ran over to him. Philly's on the other side of the barricade. He jumps it. I think Weird Body
Marino.
rolls
I'm walking
over
up, brother.
Yeah, everybody just. There's like 5 of us just corral these guys. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And like, no. And then that same guy walks away. Oh man, all right, I get it. I see him walking away with a plastic bat that had all the thumbtacks and nails sticking out of it. I go, whoa, buddy, gonna need that too, man. No,
Oh, give a brother something, man. Let me.
to do what?
He wanted to have some.
Hey,
he could have that fun by himself.
You want
just not
Wrestlerager 3, right?
Deathmatch Jamboree.
Well, we needed. I don't know about that, but we needed to grab that bat back, and then of course AJ Gray takes the light tube
Yes,
from Kurt Hurts instead.
that mad dog.
Kurt Hurts swung that too?
Kurt Hurts swung the tube
with work gloves on.
with work gloves on. Yes,
Safety first, Kurt Hurts.
Not his AJ Styles gloves?
No, he has
no.
work gloves on
they
at
were the
that
work
point.
gloves. Swung it, hit AJ Gray.
All in all, I think I think it was a success. I know a lot of fans said it was, up there with one of their favorite shows.
I was getting people left and right, like just like beaming, just being like, "Fucking, this is like the coolest show I've ever been to. This is fucking great." And like, I was like, just like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I'm like, just waiting for the other shoe to drop and something to go wrong. But like, seriously, anyone that thanked me, thank fucking you.
I made it almost the entire day with my white denim not getting dirty until Tim Donst brushed up against me, splattered some blood on my sleeve.
Build some character.
Yeah.
But I think, a lot of people have asked, can we, are we going to go back? I think maybe for sure 1, maybe 2 next year, depending, on the schedule and the weather and things like that.
Gary has to keep it up on his anti-rain dances.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I saw him the week before, and he's like, "If it rains, I'm not coming out." I was like, "Well, you better get your fucking rain dancing shoes on and tell that shit to fuck off." And we were checking the goddamn weather on the fucking app every day.
I was checking the weather non-fucking.
And then, like, I think Weird Body was like, "I don't think it even matters until, like, you can even predict it really until Tuesday." And I'm like, when the fuck is it going to be Tuesday? Fucking. And then it was Tuesday. I was like, all right, looks good. And then, honestly, it was fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything came together.
the universe just said, hey, have a fucking sick show, guys.
The sun was out. Was it not, John Thorne?
Dude, I was fucking hurting the next day.
Hurting that night.
Yeah, and then the thing that was fucking I found the craziest was that the show was over by 8, which really fucked with me fucking like mentally after party wise, because it just went on forever. The after party just went on for fucking ever. And
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
show was over at 8. We were at my place by like 9:30, and then
it's just like never ending. Like, you usually get a couple hours in and that's it. And then like it's like 4 hours of after party going on, and it's like,
Well, shouldn't this be ending?
it's like not even, we could still even go to a bar if we wanted to. Like, what the fuck is happening?
I'm sitting on so much leftover beer right now. It's insane.
Dude, and this was a fucking, I won't get into any details, but there's some fucking crazy shit going on in this fucking apartment. It was fucking insane. Like, fucking insane. Like, fucking, like, can never be spoken of fucking insanity.
It was definitely an unholy shitload of goddamn people in my fucking apartment. The place was a war zone the next day.
Fucking nunchucks and fucking all kinds of
I was gonna
weapons.
say, weapons didn't stop at Wrestlerager 2.
No, Stacy came back.
Made it to the after party.
Stacy the blow up doll. That was her name apparently.
Roxanne.
Oh, Roxanne?
Roxanne. Marino named her Sally,
Roxanne, I'm sorry.
but Roxanne was the true name given by the people who brought her. I mean, I think that's going to wrap it up here for Wrestlerager 2, Electric Boogaloo. You guys got any final words you want to throw out there?
No, if you guys want to see it again next year, make sure to let us know.
If they liked it, I liked it.
And buy the DVD.
Oh, fucking seriously, this is one to goddamn buy.
Oh,
like,
this is one where the live experience, I think, is going to come through on that DVD.
I don't want to like hype it up that much because it was outdoors, but like if there was a roof on that place, it would have been like ECW levels of fucking just noise from the fucking crowd. But I might be hyping it a
And,
little hard.
and to that note, fucking be that loud at Mount Carmel. Have fucking fun. Like, people, the wrestlers feed off that. Like, don't just fucking sit there and think you can't yell and scream. Wrestling shows are supposed to be like the fucking, how that crowd was, just like fucking yelling and screaming and having fun and fucking singing music. And
Yeah, this was a show where I think the wrestlers didn't want to just watch the show to watch everybody wrestling. They wanted to watch the crowd, man.
it was
like, be in the
definitely an
crowd.
experience.
Yeah.
so let's keep that part of it rolling through the rest of the year.
Feel good. All right, well, for Dominic Guarini, Alex Worldwide Keller, John Thorne, my name is Steve Guy. We'll talk to you guys next week right here on AIW's The Card is Going to Change.
Worldwide.